Hi and welcome to the second tutorial on Serif Draw Plus. As you can see, I'm still working on our photo of Salman Khan, and I've added a little bit more detail. You would need to obviously do the whole lot to make it look realistic and helpful. But I've just shown you the cartoon. His eyes look a bit strange because I did it very quickly. There's also a double layer around his hairline, which I'll show you how to deal with later on. But that's the basic shape of his face, his eyes. He hasn't got a mouth or a nose yet, but you would need to do that in your project, of course. Okay, so now we've got our basic outlines. We want to add some colour to this particular cartoon. So the zoom tool is very helpful here. And just to let you know, you've got two different types of colour that you can use. You've got a line colour, which is literally the colour of the lines, and you've got the fill colour, which is the colour inside. Okay, so if we start on his eyes, you can use the drop down here to choose exactly which parts we're looking at. So as you can see that's the light part that we put on. There's the iris of his eyes, and there's the outside of it there. Okay, so if you start with the iris of the eye, there's a very clever tool that you can use, which is called the colour picker, which will allow you to grab the colour off wherever it's pointing. So if you point here, that's his skin colour. If you point there, that's the big brother eye, the black bit in the middle. And basically it'll allow you to pick up whichever colour you want. So if I go on the green there, I've picked that green up, there is the green colour there. So if I want to pick his actual eye colour, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to grab the colour picker and I'm going to choose one of the selections of the brown of his eye just there, which is that colour there. Okay. So then what you would do, you would use the tool to select that area. You would choose the fill and you would choose the colour. And as you can see, the colour goes straight into the eye. We could do the same with the outside of his eye here. We can make it look a little bit freaky by colouring it in pure white. For a cartoon, that would be quite good to do because it's cartoony. You might want to also do the little white bit of his eye and perhaps that little line as well, white there, which also looks a bit odd. So we can undo that. Okay, so now if you zoom out, it's going to look hilarious, half cartoon, half photograph, but you can basically see the photo taking place. When you take off the photo off the back, you can see the eye taking shape there. Okay, you would do the same thing on the other eye, and then you would do the same thing with his skin tone, his hair. With the hair, it's good to get a lot of movement on it by making the jagged edges of the hair on there. So if I just show you again on the other eye, we're zooming in. Apologies, that was it out. We're zooming in to have a look at that. We're clicking which bit we want. This is a problem you might come across. You're trying to click the eye and you can't. Why is that? You're on the wrong layer. So if you make sure you're on the correct layer, which is the eyes layer in this particular case, click on the outside. Again, we want to fill the white of the eye with that. Doesn't matter if it's filled the other part as well. We can just do that separately. And remembering, we can colour pick the brown from the other eye we've already done. Yeah, so we colour pick there. We'll go back to the selection tool. It's already selected, fill, and we put the colour in there. And the last thing we did before was to get some white on there. I prefer to use the swatch and colour it in white. Okay, so it's got some very intense eyes. You might want to have a play around with the size of the white little bit there. He's looking very intense. But if you zoom out, it looks hilarious. And I have done this very quickly. If you turn off, however, the photo, you can see his eyes look quite decent. This eye, it just looks a bit odd though. And you basically complete that process until you've got all the colour in there and all the lines that you need. And then literally you would save it. you can save it as a serif file, or you can save it as a PDF. It gives you different options to save. Okay, but I hope that's given you an idea of how to use colour and different tools on Serif Draw Plus that will help you with P2 and also M1 of Unit 10.